Hey Umbraco fans, back again. This video I'm going to do another advanced feature of the data list editor for Contentment. This time it's going to be how to make a custom list editor. So if you've seen the other videos, I've shown off the data source and I've shown off some list editors, but I'm going to show you how to make a custom one. The data source I'm going to use for this is the JSON one. It's just to get all the grid editors because it's kind of a nice, concise data source that shows some icons as well, so it's quite nice and easy to use. Okay, so to make a custom list editor, you need to do it in C#. So I'm going to flip over to Visual Studio. I'm using app code to do this. You can do this in your own DLL or however you want to build these things. Okay, so I've got a class called my custom data list editor, and I'm going to implement an interface for iData list editor, and I could implement this, but it would just come back with a whole bunch of not implemented exceptions and things. So I'm going to copy and paste from Notepad, and I'll talk you through what each one of the items is. So firstly, for most of these data list stuff, you have to put a name, description, and icon, and this is what would get displayed in the back office. And then what's different to the data source one for review, because it's a list editor, you would have to add your custom view in. Now in here I've added in some HTML. The other options that is for any configuration you want to pass through, default configuration you want to pass through to the to the HTML, which is basically an Angular. I don't know if we call this a component or not, but it's an Angular thing. Any default values and fields, so you can have extra fields. So this is like where I showed the checkbox list, you would have little toggle boxes for things. How big you want the overlay, and whether this type of list editor has multiple or single values. And this is mostly for models builder. For later on, so like a checkbox list would have multiple values, but a radio button list would only have one value. Same with the drop down, just one value. So in those cases it'd be false. So for this example, I'm just going to do one where we show a list of items, and then we're going to select one from the list. So if I save that and I come back to the back office, I reload this screen just so we can see it in here. What we should see once this is reloaded is I want to press the add button. It will come back over with the overlay with should say my custom list editor. Okay, build's taken a little bit longer than I'd like for these demos. Okay, so press add. So we get the existing ones and then my custom list editor. So there's no extra fields for this. There's nothing else to add here. I click save. Okay, so when I've added this to my document type for my content, it needs to obviously render something, which is where if I flip back to the HTML, this is where it would have the custom list. So in this HTML, and I've just got box standard, that didn't work, box standard HTML, literally nothing in here. I can copy in just a quick thing, which is that there's an Umbraco directive in 8.6, which is a code snippet. If I show you the code snippet, if I come over to my content, what we'll see here is the code snippet will show just what is exactly in the model. So this is everything gets passed through from the data type to the property. So we get to see what the name is, description. But what the important part is that the items are the actual things that get passed through from the data list. So each one of these has got a description, an icon, a name, and a value. Okay, so then what I would do then is from the JSON loop through those things, and we'll copy in some other code, and I'll just talk through it quickly. Yeah, so using the model config items, I would repeat these using an Angular directive. The model is the value. The style, if the value is equal to the item's value, then that's selected. We'll change the background color from yellow to white, and then I output the icon and the name. Right, so if I save this, and this bit here is just to output the value here. So flipping back to the browser, if I refresh this, okay, so what we see is the RTE was already picked from earlier, and if I select the different items, that will update the value, and this is what will get saved to the database. and my highlighting works as well. So you can easily create your own custom list editors with this as well. Okay, thank you. Bye.